In this week's vlog, we'll be mostly photographing and making videos of our candles for our website and social media.
Hi, I'm Imogen and this is my dad Alan. So we've been on our candle journey and we are nearly at the end because we're getting ready to launch our candles. So today we're going to test and light Fireside Vibe.
That is our Fireside Vibe candle. So we'll go to the next room and make a video. Oh, where's the lid? Oh yeah. And make a video of you taking the lid off and lighting the candle, because I'm starting to do the website and a website without pictures isn't very good. So we've got this top of Imogen and her brother's toy storage, because it's a nice flat white surface, and then I've put this backdrop board. It's a board that we've got printed with. We've got a few of these with different patterns. So we're going to have this one, and what we'll do, Imogen, I think, is we'll do one, you just holding it and taking the lid off, and then the next bit will be you lighting the candle. So we've got this little light panel. I don't know if you can see behind Imogen. Oh yeah, here. This light panel here, just to give a bit of light, because we don't want it to be really bright, because that'll spoil the ambience. We want it to be kind of a bit dark, so that you can see the flame when we lit it, but at the same time not so dark that we can't see anything. So I'm going to get another camera, because we can't use this one because that's filming us. So I'm using, for these product photo shots, a 70mm f2.8 macro lens that allows us to get nice and close to the candle. And let me do that. And we're going to have to do this. This is going to be a video, so we need it, because all social media video these days is portrait. So I flip the camera.
Like this way?
Yeah, because most people use their phones, right? So let me angle
If it's this way, when they do it this way, it will be really small.
Really small. So what I'll do is, we want the camera to kind of be at eye level.
Eye level?
But also looking a bit down, so that... Can you just take the lid off, please? So you want to be able to see... Yeah, I want it kind of eye level, but also looking down. So maybe I have to lift this up.
Once I take the lid off, do I light it?
We don't have to do it all at once. What I'll do is... and we just need your hands. We don't need your body as such to be in it. So make sure that's perfectly... turn it a bit there. That's all right. So the first thing to do... Hang on, wait. Let me set this recording. So take your hands away first. Okay, you can take the lid off. Okay, and then now you can use your lighter and light the flame. And then that's it. And then, well, I'll show the video afterwards once I've edited it. But it's just a nice, yeah. I don't know really. I've been a bit lazy with my own handmade business, making these art displays, not having to really bother with social media. So now we're going to have to promote, because we're going to do our own website. We need to really have a lot of content to put out there. Okay, so I thought I'd show you another setup for making some portrait videos and photos for things like Pinterest. The pins are kind of tall, aren't they? So you don't want, well, you want to take a 16:9 photo to make the most of that picture and get the most real estate on the feed, I guess. So again, I've got a foam-backed backdrops that I've got made. This one's got two colours, half and half. So I'm just propping it up against the coffee table. And then here we have the camera. So I'm using a Lumix S5 II to film on. And I've got S9, Lumix S9 here with the 70mm f2.8 macro lens, wide open. So that we've got a nice blurry background, And with the macro lens, you can get nice and close to the camera. So I'll show you later. You don't need to crop in. We can just have it a good, clear, full-size picture without needing to zoom in after taking a photo. So I've got it on a tripod now, set nice and low. Candle on the coffee table. Cleared all the kids' stuff off the table for now. This is the welcome to my life. This is just a mess I'm constantly having to battle with, but we can still make it work. Good thing about a nice, if you use like a 70mm lens, it cuts out. If you use a wide lens, you'll see all the mess, but because this is a relatively zoomed in image, so it cuts out anything to the side. Anyway, you'll see. So I will start recording, and then I'll just light the candle. And then this kind of framing, you can't see my hand, you just see the lighter coming in and then the candle being lit. And then I'll just leave it recording for a bit to try and get, I don't know, make the flame flicker too much, but to get a bit of a live flame. So I thought that would be a good video clip. So this is going to be our hero image on the website. So you have, normally when you land on the main page, you have a big picture with, I don't know, we're going to have like autumn collection or cozy collection or launch collection and an eye-catching image. This is a continuous LED light. I think it's set at 5,100 Kelvin.
5500.
Right, 5500 Kelvin. So with this light imaging, you can make it either like daylight or warm white. But we're going to try and keep it daylight so that the white is white and not what do you call it? Yellowy light. So this is a vinyl backdrop, so it's flexible, and I've stuck the top part against the wall, and then it's just a gentle curve here, curving down and then flat on the top of our toy storage, and then the candles there. And then on this side, Imogen, you can point to it, this side is just a foam board. So if I take this away, Imogen, you can see, look at your candles. If I take this away, can you see there's a bit of shadow? Mm-hmm. And then if I put it back, the shadow's less. So what happens is this light hits this white board. It's kind of like a mirror, but it reflects the light back to take off some of that shadow. So it's almost like having two lights, but I'm just using the one light because I'm lazy. And we can just use the foam board. So I'm going to use the 70mm lens again. So as part of us being a small business, we want to be an eco-conscious company because we don't have to just solely focus on profits and shareholders. We get to, and we want to, be eco-conscious and do the right thing and give back to the environment. So we thought it'd be good to, for every candle order at least, we'll plant a tree. Well, not personally, but there's organisations that will do that on our behalf. And it's quite nice because candles need oxygen to burn, and then when they burn, they give off CO2. So by planting trees, the trees will absorb the CO2 and produce oxygen. So it's that nice carbon cycle happening in real life with our candles. So we've got this luscious leaf candle, and I thought it'd be a nice idea to have the tin as a pot and a sapling growing at the top. But the only photos I have from the other day have the lid on. So I'm going to take a close-up again of the tin without a lid so that I can edit in a little sapling coming out of the top of it. And again, we've got the softbox with a nice white LED continuous light, and then this bounce board here, foam card, just to really nicely light up the tin. So I've got my trusty 70mm f2.8 macro set at f4, and even then it's not going to get the whole candle in focus. So I'm going to do a bit of focus stacking where I take or manually focus the focus point to be at the front and then gradually towards the back of the camera, and then use Affinity Photo to merge the focus points and have a nice sharp candle. So here we go. I should probably use a wireless trigger, but... And then that should do. I'll stack the images and then show you the final tree coming out of the tin. You might be thinking, what we're doing with a pumpkin for our photography. What we want to do is a bit more kind of themed photos and some video content. So I've got this nice pumpkin. This side at the front is a mildly smooth round face area. So do you want to draw your design on there, and then we can carve out the inside, and then we'll show you what we have in mind. I don't know how clear that is, but we've drawn, well, Imogen's drawn her design, so let's start cutting it out. Our idea is to have the Cosy Pumpkin, oh my goodness, it's really slippery in there. Cosy Pumpkin candle, I might have to prop it up, in the mouth, and then we're going to light it, and I'm going to have to find another camera, because most of my lenses are prime lenses. You know what a prime lens is? It means I can't zoom, it's fixed. So this lens we're using is 24mm. This is the view it sees, that's it, I can't change it. But I've got another camera that we can zoom, and hopefully, we'll show you in a minute, we'll get set up at the coffee table. We'll start from showing the whole pumpkin, and I want to try and zoom into the mouth and show the Cosy Pumpkin candle in the mouth. I don't know if it'll work, but let's give it a go. So I've got some leaves from the field the other day, and I just thought we'll use them as just put around the pumpkin. Might be able to, oh, they're quite big. I might be able to cover the whole table. Right, so I've lit the pumpkin in there, and we set up the camera to get the pumpkin in the middle. I decided to go for the darker backdrop, just for a bit of contrast. But now I'll use this to gently zoom in, and hopefully we'll see the candle clearly inside the mouth. So let's give it a go. And that's it, I'll show you the end result. So I hope you found this week's behind the scenes of taking photos and little video snippets for our social medias interesting. Do give us a like and subscribe. Hi Felix, see you in the video. If this has brought you some value, and if you've enjoyed this video, please be sure to check out some of our others. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.